Okay, in this question, vector A has a magnitude of 8 units and makes an angle of 45 degrees with the positive x-axis. Okay, so imagine this is the vertical and horizontal axis, so this is a positive x-axis. What they're trying to say is that this is the vector 45 degree in this direction. It is 8 unit. Okay, you have this is called the vector A. Another vector B is 8 units directed to the negative x. That means you have another vector pointing this direction. Okay, let me use another color. Okay, this is the vector B. Okay, this is the vector B. Now you want to add up these two vector A and vector B. How do we add them up? Is very simple, using head at tail technique or using the parallelogram technique, right? So I prefer to use head at tail technique. So this vector A I bring over here. Okay, I bring over here. So this one is the vector A. Now, so this is 8 unit. This is also 8 unit. So we know that this is 45 degrees. Okay, so we do not know what is this length. Okay, let's say this is the length of the resultant vector. This is the resultant vector. So how do we do that? We can use cosine rule, right? Still remember the cosine rule is r square equals to a square plus b square minus 2ab cosine theta. So a square is x square, b square also 8. So it's 2 times 8 times 8 cosine 45, and r is the root of all this answer. You will get 6.12 units. Okay, so that is the vector sum of A and B. Now we need to get a direction for this vector r. Let's say this is alpha. This alpha. We can use sine rule to determine the alpha using sine alpha over the opposite value, which is 8, equal to sine 45 over the opposite value r, which is 6.12. So alpha will be equal to 67.5 degree, right? So how do we express the direction? We express that the direction of r in the other direction here. So let's say this is beta. So in other words, beta is 180 minus 67.5. The answer will be 112.5 degree, right? So we say r is equals to the magnitude of r. Okay, let me change this. The magnitude of r equals to 6.12 units at 112.5 degree from the positive x-axis. Now let's solve for section B here. How do we get vector A minus vector B? Vector A minus vector B actually is not possible to minus vectors. We can only plus the vectors. So in this case, we just simply plus the negative vectors of B. Okay, what does that mean? That means vector A, you know, vector A is pointing 45 degree like that. So it's this one at the negative B. Negative, this is B. Negative B must be in the opposite direction, right? So how do we add that? We just head at tail. As simple as that. This one add this one. Finally, we can get something like that. This is the resultant r. This is 8. This is 8. We know that after this is being so we need to get this angle theta, right, in order to find r. How do we get this angle theta? We know that this angle is 45 degree, right? You try to see this one. This place is actually, this one is actually this vectors being reversed, this vector being reversed and brought over here and draw this as the resultant, right? So this is 45. So this also will be 45 degree, right? So in this case, the theta must be 180 minus the 45, which is 1, 3, 5 degree, right? So let's do simple calculation using the cosine rule. R square equals to x square plus x square minus 2, 8 cosine 1, 3, 5. We shall get R as equals to 14.8 units, right? So now how do we get the direction? Let's look at this place. Okay, this is actually the directions here. Let me redraw. Okay, the directions here is horizontal. Let's say this is alpha. Okay, let's say this is alpha, so this will be beta. So let's get the beta before you can get alpha, right? Because if you want to get direction, we must always get with respect to the horizontal or the vertical axis. So in this case, I must get beta before I can get alpha. So how do we get beta? We just use the similar technique as just now using the sine rule. So you get sine beta over the opposite length, which is 8, equal to sine 135, which is this angle, sine over the opposite, which is r. What is r? R is 14.8. So divided by 14.8. So beta will be equals to the 22.5 degree, right? So what about alpha? Let's try to find the alpha. Okay, we can easily get alpha as 180 minus beta minus theta. Then you get 22.5 degree. Why so? Because this alpha. This also will be alpha, right? Because this is the opposite angle, okay, as you shall see. So now in this case, A minus B is 14.8 units, 22.5 degree from the positive x-axis. I think the answer in the book is not correct. Okay, please follow this one.